Look around your room. Media used to be a physical asset. You bought it once, and it belonged to you forever. Today, your shelves are completely empty. The physical era is dead. You were systematically forced to surrender your entire collection. Entertainment has been silently converted into a digital utility, a continuous, invisible stream controlled entirely by tech monopolies. Your personal access can be erased at any given second. They replaced emotional value with an engineered loop of endless scrolling. This is the birth of the ultimate dopamine trap, a modern subscription cage designed to lock your bank account forever. When millions of albums cost pennies, art quickly loses its value. You no longer appreciate a true masterpiece. You consume it like fast food. Algorithms constantly map your unique psychological weaknesses. They feed you predictable dopamine triggers to keep you pacified. Modern tech giants demand a passive, brainless habit. You are flooded with endless choices, yet you feel completely numb. The corporate subscription model has successfully monetized your loneliness. They don't sell content anymore. They rent your identity. And the exact moment your card declines, your culture vanishes. You hold absolutely no real assets. You own nothing. Look at your digital library. Hundreds of titles bought over years. You think you own them, but you blindly signed a lie. Legally, you didn't buy a game, only a temporary license. These digital licenses can be revoked at any given moment. When Ubisoft shuts down old servers, your $100 purchase vanishes. You cannot sell it. You cannot lend it. You possess nothing. The gaming industry shifted from creating art to engineering permanent traps. Enter the subscription catalogs, Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. They offer you thousands of games to overload your decision-making. You spend hours scrolling through menus, but you play nothing. Because when everything is disposable, the psychological joy of gaming dies. Modern games are no longer sold finished. They are sliced into pieces. Every single feature, skin, and level is hidden behind a paywall. You buy the console and hardware, but access requires a tax. You are locked in their closed launchers, entirely dependent on infrastructure. They colonized your free time, turning a hobby into a utility bill. The industry successfully killed the concept of secondary market and preservation. Your gaming history, your achievements, your digital identity, all rented. The machine demands continuous feeding. Unplug the card and you vanish. They don't sell games anymore. They rent you a dopamine drip. You turn on your computer, but your tools are locked. Corporate software quietly evolved into a lifetime extortion scheme. 20 years ago, you bought software once on disk. It belonged to you forever without any monthly bills. Then, monopolies realized that they could permanently monetize your survival. They invented Creative Cloud, a permanent toll booth on your career. The rules are brutal. Stop paying rent, lose your work. Years of your personal project files are now held hostage. Office, Figma, fonts. Every single utility demands a separate cut. You are no longer an owner, just a digital sharecropper. You rent the right to create from monopolies owning everything. They can change pricing overnight or delete features instantly. Legal fine print explicitly states you own nothing inside. Without an active internet connection and valid card, you are junk. Big tech successfully criminalized the concept of private ownership. Calculate the lifetime math. 10 years of rentals costs thousands. automated monthly microtransactions are engineered to bleed you dry. These tiny losses completely bypass your brain's natural receptors. The system turned your creative independence into permanent liability. You still own physical hardware, but your creativity is rented. You bought a printer, you bought the paper, but you own nothing. HP blocked third-party ink. The machine demands a corporate contract. If your monthly automated payment declines, your printer locks itself completely. Microtransactions successfully infected your everyday household appliances. Look at the automotive industry. BMW pioneered a terrifying milestone. They installed heated seats in your car, then put them behind a paywall. You paid for the physical hardware, but the software requires permanent rent. Want an autopilot feature? Pay a monthly subscription tax to exist. Your smart home ecosystem is a ticking bomb. It belongs to the cloud. If a manufacturer shuts down remote servers, your expensive hardware becomes instant junk. They colonized your bedroom. They monetized your sleep and your comfort. You are being bled dry by 1,000 small corporate cuts. Each transaction is small. It passes completely beneath your brain's pain receptors. But when you multiply 10 services by 30 years, the math becomes terrifying. The concept of absolute private property is being intentionally eradicated. You are renting your own life, paying a permanent tax to corporate overlords. They created a modern feudalism, where corporations are the new landlords. Your bank account is directly wired into their automated extraction machine. The generation that follows will never experience what it feels like to truly own something. Welcome to the age of permanent corporate dependency. Who is behind this massive global shift in property rights? Welcome to the official agenda of the World Economic Forum. Their infamous corporate slogan states, "You will own absolutely nothing." And their cynical psychological promise adds, "And you will be happy." Klaus Schwab and global elites engineered a total economic reset. They want to eliminate paper money and traditional private wealth. Investment megacorporations are silently buying up all real estate. The final goal is a neo-feudal society of permanent renters. They are transitioning global capitalism into a captive subscription-based cage. Your basic right to shelter, transport, and tools will be metered. You are being systematically downgraded from a free citizen to a user. If you display any political dissent, they can turn off your life. A low social credit score will deactivate your rental permissions. This is the ultimate synthesis of corporate power and technocracy. True ownership will belong exclusively to a tiny corporate oligarchy. They demand total reliance on their centralized, cloud-based infrastructure. You will work every day just to fund a simulated existence. Your personal attention, your behavior, and your autonomy are fully monetized. They didn't just take your property, they bought your submission. You are literally cheering for the very cage that confines you. The system wants you dependent, but your rebellion is simple. Stop renting your existence. Take back your absolute ownership today. Cancel the cloud. Delete all automated monthly parasite transactions. Buy massive physical hard drives and hoard your personal data. Buy physical media. Securely own your movies, music, and games. Disconnect your life from their centralized, hackable cloud servers. Build a personal offline archive that nobody can ever delete. Support open source software and tools with permanent lifetime licenses. True modern power is offline, physical, and completely independent. Step out of their highly monitored, corporate digital rental matrix. Take absolute, permanent control of your digital footprint and attention. Big tech deeply fears a self-reliant user who owns everything. Welcome to Asset Logic. We decode the modern corporate system. We expose every single fatal flaw in the corporate machine. Subscribe right now for more unfiltered truth and critical strategies. Protect your physical hardware and defend your independent mind. Go out and buy a reliable physical flash drive today. Start downloading and archiving your digital property completely right now. The true resistance begins entirely offline, inside your own room. Stay sharp. Trust physical assets. End of the transmission.